They tried to charge me rent for my own garage, not dues, not a fine, straight up rent. One morning I opened my mail and nearly choked on my coffee. The HOA had sent me a bill for $150 a month labeled garage usage rent. I thought it had to be a joke. But when I called the office, the manager said it with a straight face. Garages are considered shared use spaces. The board has voted to implement a monthly fee. Shared use? My garage? It was literally attached to my house. My deed clearly listed it as private property. But the HOA didn't care. They threatened fines, late fees, and even liens if I didn't pay up. That's when I started digging. I pulled out the HOA bylaws. Nothing in them gave the board authority over garages. Then I checked my deed again. There it was, plain as day. Garage, exclusive use. And I wasn't alone. Neighbors up and down the block had gotten the same bill. Some were confused and ready to pay. Others were furious but scared to fight. So I decided to lead the charge. First, I documented everything, and the bogus bill, the bylaws, and my deed. Then I called a property lawyer. After a quick review, he confirmed what I already knew. The HOA had zero authority to charge rent for something I owned. His exact words, "They're bluffing. This is overreach, plain and simple." With that legal opinion in hand, I printed flyers and slipped them into every mailbox in the neighborhood. The flyer explained the scam, quoted the lawyer, and encouraged people not to pay a cent. At the next HOA meeting, the board was expecting business as usual. Instead, the room was packed wall to wall with angry homeowners. When the agenda hit the garage rent rule, I stood up with a binder full of evidence. I showed my deed. I read the lawyer's statement, and then I announced that if the board didn't withdraw the rule immediately, we were prepared to file a class action lawsuit. The board tried to argue that the fee was for community upkeep, but the neighbors weren't buying it. One person shouted, "We already paid dues." Another yelled, "This is theft." The board's lawyer looked nervous. He knew they didn't have a leg to stand on, and just to turn up the heat, I had tipped off the local news. The next night, the story aired. HOA charges residents rent for their own garages. Cameras rolled on homeowners holding up their bills, pointing to their garages and demanding answers. The public outrage was instant. Social media dragged the HOA as greedy and ridiculous. By the end of the week, the board caved. The garage rent rule was scrapped, all bills were voided, and a formal audit of the HOA's finances was launched. As for me, I kept my garage, rent-free, just the way it should be. This story proves something important. HOAs sometimes make up rules hoping no one will fight back. But if you know your rights, organize your neighbors, and push back, you can win. So tell me, would you fight your HOA if they tried to charge you rent for your own garage, or would you just pay to avoid the hassle? Drop your answer in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon, because every week we bring you the wildest real HOA stories you won't believe.